Here comes Quack. Carl Edwards on the bottom. Joined by Kyle Busch just ahead. And up the middle comes Matt Kenseth.
Got his car better, that's for sure. That takes a lot of confidence right there.
And unlike that first stop, that Kenseth crew had a great pit stop that time. Comes Jeff Burton in the 31 on the inside.
He just keeps looking, Burton does, down on the inside, getting into 3. Makes pretty good moves right there.
We mentioned Martin Truex Jr. He did take that Napa Toyota to the garage area.
Ryan Newman to the middle. Trying to pass Edwards and Burton.
So much depends on how you get off the corner here. It'll look like someone has 50 more horsepower than you, but if you don't get off the corner good, they're going to beat you bad.
Harold, something happened to Jeff Gordon between 1 and 2.
I think
his number 24 just shot up the top of the racetrack and got some grip just shy of the wall.
Yeah, I think he made contact with whomever he was racing with right there. I believe it was maybe some contact off the 16. I didn't see it well enough. Just saw the car take off.
Well, his car is real loose right now.
See if we can get another look at it, Mike. Going down in the corner here, and the 16 just runs a. Oh, I don't know if it was just Biffle going across the back, cutting across the back of the 24, loosening him up, and.
Here's Denny Hamlin. We just talked about him. Made that run up there to Kurt Busch. This is a battle for the lead. I just believe Denny Hamlin, that 11, Mike Ford, what they'd love to see is a really long run based on what we've seen for most of the race with this car.
Now, Kurt stretched it out a bit. Did Denny Hamlin cool off his tires and then say, okay, we'll make another run, or what do you think?
No, I think Kurt's car looks like it's got a little pushy loose. That time off turn 4, it was sideways a couple of times.
Yeah, he didn't get off turn 4 at all that time. Denny Hamlin made up the ground down the straightaway, going to try to take the lead away through turn 1 and 2.
I think he's got it. Ooh, he's almost had it.
Kurt kept it wound up on the high side off turn 2. Let's see what happens. We've got that lap car of Kevin Conway in that 37 up there.
Hopefully the 2 car was all that great around the bottom. I think he's a little better up high.
I think he's going to. Denny Hamlin's almost going to get pinned behind that 37 car.
Didn't take away much of his momentum, Larry. Now he gets to go hang the bottom again.
Got to clear him this time. He's got a nice run right here on the bottom.
What you love about this Atlanta Motor Speedway, this is what always promotes those great finishes.
You know who loves this most? Montoya, because he's coming.
He is reeling them in.
There's that red dot. All that side-by-side racing has allowed Montoya to close back on the leaders to within about 0.6 of a second.
Did you see that move that Montoya made off of 4 that time? He was high, and he just dove to the bottom. Picked up a lot of speed.
Hamlin under a charge for the lead from Kurt Busch and Montoya.
I'm going to tell you what, our top 5 is right there together, because look at Montoya all over the rear bumper of that 2 car.
Tighten it up at the front of the field. Everybody's getting their car better and better and better.
Here comes Kenseth on the bottom.
And there's Casey Kane in that 9 car. He's been working for 100 laps trying to overcome that problem on pit road. And there he is. Looks to the inside of Kenseth down the back straightaway.
Kenseth got to pushing up off of 2. He had to burp it a little bit. And here come the 9 car.
Well, Denny Hamlin could not stretch out a lead here. He's got lots of company. Dick?
Montoya has just heard from his crew, save the splitter. That's how intense it is up front, Mike.
Wow. Ooh, save that right rear quarter panel, too. Woo. I got the splitter, boys. Don't worry about that. Not right rear. That's a whole different story.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. One reason they're getting concerned is 5 of our top 10 just ran the fastest lap of the race. Look at Montoya. Just slams in there in the second.
That's his perfect groove. He goes in a little high and then he dives to the bottom.
Little encouragement to take the lead, get those 5 points. There's Casey Kane in the 9. Led this race so much in the beginning. He wants to get up there and take that second spot away.
Watch this line Montoya has down here. He may not even have to use it. Looks like Hamlin's going to let him up and let him by. He goes in really high, and then he just comes to the bottom. He kind of cuts down to the middle of the racetrack and picks up a lot of speed coming down the hill. See that gap?
For the first time today.
Nice job. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Stays right rear.
Juan Montoya is your leader for the first time today. He's the 9th different leader of the race.
Wearing him out. Say the splitter. Okay, now say the right rear. Save me some fuel.
I would say with him, it's right rear tire and right rear quarter pound.
I'd be telling that crew chief, give me a break, man.
There's Casey Kane in that 9. Moves to the high side of Denny Hamlin. Takes that second spot away, but here comes Hamlin fighting back on the bottom. Look at them. We're 2 by 2 up there at the front. We got a couple of new players in the top 10 too. Jeff Burton in the 31 and Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's moved into the top 10 in that 88 car. Kurt Busch fighting for the lead.
There's an old short track saying 4 cars under a blanket. This is 6 cars under a blanket fighting for the lead.
Those red cars look fast. 42 and that 12. I can't believe Keselowski is just really, really hooked up right now getting around Jimmy Johnson.
Jeff Burton coming into the picture. I believe that's the first time Burton's been up in the top 8 today.
Yeah, and I just mentioned him, and then the guy right behind him, that 88 car of Earnhardt Jr. But these two guys, they will not give up at the front. Just keep battling back and forth, the 2 and the 16.
A couple old buddies there. They've raced each other hard before.
This battle for the lead will not quit.
I like it.
And the thing about it, they're going side by side. I think this says a lot for the racetrack itself. They're not losing to Montoya in that 42 back there in 3rd.
Kurt Busch he is committed to that bottom. I mean, he's worked the car, and that's where he's made all of his passes. It's kind of like old school, back in the old days. That's the way you run this joint.
DW, his day just continues to take a turn for the worse. The past 2 stops, they've either made a spring, they push a spring rubber in the right rear. On the last stop before that, they made a shock packer change. The last time in, he basically said, we have got to come and do something big because we are really losing it. At one point, DW, he said, can we move the rear end housing around? And he was doing it as he drove by right from his pit, and he could see Darian Grubb shake his head. He goes, I see from your expression, that's a no.
Got a new leader. Mark Martin in that 5 car just drove by Kurt Busch, and here comes Ryan Newman in that 39 car.
Well, those first 2 cars, the 5 and the 2, they don't have very good tires, so they may be setting ducks here before long.
And look at Newman in the 39, and Burton sees he's trying to open the door. He wants to take advantage of it, and here comes Hamlin as well.
Newman a couple laps ago went into turn 1 and had to slam the brake on so hard he almost spun the car, trying to stay off of Kurt Busch. But now Busch has to give him room.
Look at that 48 car up on the outside.
And they're lining up behind him. Burton trying to figure out which lane to go, and Hamlin coming.
You know what all those guys in front of the 48 are saying? Where's the 48?
Well, he's there, boys.
He is right there. Hamlin, now Kyle Busch comes into play, and Dale Jr. What a dogfight this is going to be.
Yes, sir. Pretty dadgum good racing on a little half-mile racetrack, side by side through these flat corners.
Looks like the bottom's going to finally prevail. Newman and Jeff Burton, they clear Kurt Busch in the 2, but he won't give up. He keeps fighting back on that outside, just like the 48 of Johnson.
Yeah, that's going to be, Kurt's going to be in the way here. That's going to impede Johnson from moving forward.
If he gives up, he's going to be about 9th.
Now Johnson and Kyle Busch, they almost swapped. Johnson went to the inside, Kyle Busch in the 18 to the outside.
Yeah, that little transition there from inside to outside, that's what broke the 48's momentum, but I think he'll be able to get it back. I think he felt like the 2 was really kind of holding him up.
Just don't see that move paying off for Kyle Busch, because if his older brother is backing up on the outside, where's he going to go?
Well, I know we've talked about him all week long as we get ready to come to Martinsville, but Denny Hamlin, that 11 car, he drives into the 3rd spot. It wasn't that many laps ago. He restarted in 27th after that pit road problem on the first pit stop.
Larry, there's places as a driver you go that you can almost check off that's where we're going to get a win, because you know how good you are at those places. And this is one of them for Denny Hamlin. Here in Richmond, it's kind of like 2 of his favorite tracks. Imagine that, they're both in Virginia.
Hamlin, one of 5 multiple race winners in the field here at Martinsville. Jeff Gordon's won here 7 times, Jimmy Johnson 6. Hamlin's won 2, as have Mark Martin and Tony Stewart.
Biggest problem, bouncing the noise off the racetrack.
Mark Martin will peel off to pit road as we begin this round of green flag stops. We've been under green since lap 117. That's coming up on 2 full rounds of green flag pit stops.
Yeah, Mark Martin was one of the first cars to hit pit road the last set of green stops. Remember, he thought he had a vibration. I would say the next one we'll see is McMurray in the 1 and Newman in the 39. Matt.
208 is when they expected Mark to hit his stall. That's exactly what he did. You can already see the chassis adjustment, significant one, already completed. He was really loose at the beginning of that run. Now he says neutral. Dick.
And Ryan Newman on his way down pit road. The crew is going to be making an adjustment on the car. Newman says
for the lead, Jeff Gordon comes right back after Jimmy Johnson.
Jeff Gordon got passed by Jimmy Johnson because Jeff wasn't aggressive enough trying to get through that lap traffic. Jimmy caught him, was able to slip by on the high side, but I think you can see how good those 2 cars are. Actually pushing Jeff Gordon down the front straightaway. That will make Jeff Gordon very unhappy.
Now on the last run, they came in 1 lap apart. Johnson 1 lap before Gordon. We'll see how this plays out. You'd never know these 2 are teammates, Darrell, the way they're going at each other right now.
No, sir. They lay it to each other just like they don't know each other.
David Ruderman stopped. Kevin Harvick is in. Robbie Gordon on pit road. Joey Logano and Ryan Newman coming in for their stops along with Regan Smith. Now he's got a mirror full of Jeff Burton, and Burton wants to lead.
I think Burton's going to get the position here. I don't know if he's going to be able to give it to him or he's going to take it. Kyle right here has got to use a little bit of a judgment call.
Well, they got past Gordon.
They got past that Robbie Gordon in the 7 car. Now let's see if Kyle Busch can get back out in front of Jeff Burton. He will down the front straightaway.
I think that Kyle was using really good judgment. Robbie was just desperately trying to keep him back there. Kyle didn't push it, but I'm telling you, boys, that blue smoke is trouble.
That is the closest anyone has come to passing Kyle Busch on the racetrack tonight. Was Jeff Burton in the 31 right there.
Now it could be tire smoke. There could be a tire rubbing up in the fender, but that's not good.
Matt?
Nothing about the smoke, but he did, Kyle Busch, ask his spotter Jeff Dickerson how his rotors look compared to the 31 of Burton. Dickerson's response was, yours look pretty good. His are really glowing.
Well, and I think Kyle knows how much brake he's having to use, especially with the handling not being as good on his race car as it was in the beginning. The worse your car drives, the more brake you're going to use.
Worst thing that happens to you is when you've been cruising like he's been doing, you see a lot of heat in that right front, Larry. You see that thing was really red. That's got to be tire smoke. It's got to be rubbing a tire somewhere to smoke that way every time. But all of a sudden, you've been pretty good, and all of a sudden here comes somebody and you say, whoa, I'm not as good as I thought I was.
And that somebody is South Boston, Virginia's Jeff Burton, who's gone 50 races without a trip to victory lane.
And Jeff Burton's one of those drivers that we talked about earlier that wants to win a race in the next 3 races to get in that all-star race. Burton goes through the middle of the corner better than the 18 of Kyle Busch right there, but Kyle Busch in the 18 gets off the corner better.
I think Burton's going to get him this time, Larry. That's a good run.
Close.
He's got a good run on him now.
Kyle Busch led that lap.
Burton should be able to should beat him off his corner. Let's see if he does. Not quite.
Plenty of room between the 2. And Burton sails it off into turn 3 for the lead.
Enough of that.
While these guys have been doing this, that 24 car of Jeff Burton, not far back there. There you see him.
With the 24 and the 31, he let them go a little quicker than he was.
7th place battle. Kurt Busch trying to take the spot from Montoya. And here comes Vickers. Boy, he's been persistent tonight.
He has. He's had a good car. He stayed up in the top 10 most all night. Done a nice job.
Whoa, these guys are going at it hard. Montoya in the 42 and Kurt Busch in the 2.
That's 2 rocks right there.
Smart here.
Whose spotter was that? Should have been all 3 of them, right?
All 4 of them.
Yes. That was Montoya's spotter, and Montoya bounced off the wall.
Okay, led the 83. You're fine.
Ryan Newman in the 39, part of that 4-car battle for 7.
And remember, Montoya needs points. He's got to make up a lot of points if he's going to try to get back in the chase. Give me a break. Go, man.
Guys, a car I've been watching is that 78 car, Regan Smith. He was one of the cars that was 3 wide about 4 times in the first 2 laps. Regan started back in the 11th spot. Now he's up there battling for the 6th spot with Boyer.
Yeah, they got a little race going on right here. These 4 guys, 2 abreast, down the back they go.
Big log jam there at 5th place. Whoa! Boyer and Pappas get together.
I don't think that was very necessary.
Regan Smith around the outside.
And
Bernard
look at this. This is the difference in this race and a normal race. Regan's sticking that nose in there. He's going, baby.
There you go. Come on. It's got him sideways.
Smith got in the back of Max Pappas. Here comes Menard and Montoya to the bottom. And Burton.
Woo! Regan Smith has made him a hole and went right through it.
He has made a hole several times, and I think he will prevail with this 33 car going down the back straightaway. Remember, that's Hendrick Motorsports power in that car. Look at him drive that thing down into turn 3.
That thing is going, baby.
Johnson for 3rd against Joey Logano. Logano looking to protect the inside. Leaves a lot of room down there. Johnson takes advantage.
Man, did Johnson sail that thing underneath the Logano.
And it stuck.
Oh, man, I think that...
Here goes McMurray in the 1 car to the inside of the 2, Kurt Busch.
I think Kurt may have gotten into the wall off the 2 there, Larry. Was awfully high.
He may have, Darrell, but Murray chasing the lead, trying to become the 2nd leader of this race. Busch with the runoff turn 4, and at the line, it's still Kurt Busch, and the right side of his car looks unmarked.
Pretty clean, pretty clean.
But I believe they're going to have their hands full of that 48 car, but here comes Logano in the 20 fighting back on the bottom.
That bottom is, it's okay for a while, but off of turn 2, it just doesn't work very well. Turn 4 is okay, but not 2.
Side by side for the lead, but that 48 Chevrolet of Johnson is the fastest car on the racetrack. He's the only driver lapping under 30 seconds right now.
Yeah, he's just waiting to pick a lane, whichever one opens up for him.
He may have to make his own right here. He got to go to the bottom and maybe get underneath that 2 car right there.
Up, down, and for the lead, Jimmy Johnson.
Making that pass off the 2 is hard to do. You get pushy right there, and you lose a lot of grip.
Nothing behind him.
Blue Deuce hangs on. Here comes Logano back for 3rd on the bottom.
Boy, Kurt Busch in that 2 is using every bit of that racetrack on the exit of the corner.
He's not hurting for horsepower either, though, Larry. That thing is pretty stout down the straightaway. Right here is it. Jimmy Johnson can get a great move underneath Kurt, but you can't hardly get underneath the guy and make the pass over there. This is going to be a good run here. He was able to hold it a little bit better than the lap before.
Yeah, I believe he'll drive it down into turn 3 this time. See if that thing sticks at the bottom. Here comes Kurt Busch in the 2 fighting back.
Busch has had good power off the corner. But Johnson on the inside. Can he lead this lap? No. Busch again.
The bottom is just hard when there's somebody on the outside of you like that. You need the whole racetrack to slip up. And it's just...
Quarter outside.
I think he's got him. Got him. Got him clear right there. Clear up.
Clear, 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 clear.
Johnson leaving room on the high side. Not going to happen. McMurray slides back.
4 tires on the last stop. He's describing his front tires as like a dysfunctional family. He said the left front isn't working and the right front doesn't like it.
Oh, that's funny right there.
We put the fun in dysfunctional, right?
Well, I tell you what, these 2 brothers, this battle will not go away. And what's amazing, they are battling like this, and Jimmy Johnson in the 48-hour leader is not really pulling away from him. You can see him, the distance right there.
Matt on the 3rd place car.
And Dave Rogers, Mike, methodically keeping this race car ahead of this changing racetrack. The last stop, just a slight track bar adjustment. Kyle said that he wanted a Ziploc bag of ice on the next stop. Very hot inside that cockpit. 600 miles here tonight in Charlotte.
You know, Mike, as I see these 2 brothers battle like this, I can't help but think a few years ago in the All-Star race in May where they got together and wrecked each other. They quit speaking to each other. They got to Thanksgiving, and their grandmother said, listen, you 2, you are not messing my Thanksgiving up. You 2 will work this out. Took grandmother to get them straightened out.
I don't know, Larry.
Better get her on the phone, Larry.
Larry, it's 5 months to Thanksgiving.
And I know, but I think we may have to have another meeting. This is getting pretty heated. And what happens here is Kyle will get aggravated with Kurt because Kyle thinks that I've caught you, I'm under you, let me go, quit racing me. And that's where the aggravation sets in.
Well, how'd you ever feel when your brother passed you?
You know, there was times when I was okay with it, but not very often.
Right.
Depending on what part of the race.
Exactly.
Matt?
Adam, we documented in the Countdown to Green just how the entire RCR platform has improved, and especially Harvick. 2 great races at Charlotte, a great run at Dover, and now for the first time in his Sprint Cup career, he's now leading laps at Pocono.
He got a good run there.
Leading laps at Pocono. 18 trips to this facility. Harvick out front for the first time today.
Now Harvick busted loose just a little bit in turn 2, and that was just enough for Hamlin. He got through there really good. Now it's a drag race down the straightaway.
You can't make a mistake at this racetrack with Hamlin around you, or he will pounce. A 3-time winner here. He got the run down the front straightaway. Can he close the deal in one?
And remember, these guys are only 5 or 6 laps on these tires, so these tires are still pretty good. This would have been an easy pass or easier pass, I will say that. You know, 20 laps into a run, but I'm going to tell you, that 29 Harvick was impressive right there to drive in on the outside and be able to maintain that. Here we are over the tunnel, and this is where Harvick had trouble the lap before, where he got a little free.
And it looks like he had trouble again, to be honest with you, because down the 18's underneath him.
And his teammates right behind him. So these guys, look how quickly the 18 and the 31 caught up. You see the 31 dive to the inside. When you can enter that corner on the bottom, you can carry that speed in. But you see right here, the 29 carries the speed off and down the straightaway.
We talk so much about the success of Hendrick Motorsports. How about Joe Gibbs Racing and Richard Childress? Top 4 positions right now at Pocono.
I'm going to tell you, out of this group we're watching right here, the 42 and the 2, I'm going to tell you, they are driving right now. There you go.
A little nudge?
Nah, it's a little nudge. I'm here, and I need this position, and I need to get around you and get to the front as quick as possible.
Oh, watch it! Kyle Busch sliding high.
And the 11 tried this move a minute ago, and I thought he cleared him, but the 42 powered back by him down the straightaway.
Well, the 39 dove down in there, and I think the 18 saw the 39 to his left and went to give him room and went sliding up the racetrack, and his brother was up there.
And this is just, by these guys running 3 wide, those guys in front are really getting away. You see the separation there. They were right on each other's bumpers, and look how far the 42 and the 11 are in front of this pack, because you cannot run the times. These guys are losing a half a second to those guys in front of them right now. They just separated this pack. It's going to be tough for Kyle and those guys. I'm not saying they can't do it, but they got to drive back to get back in the race.
Hang on. Man, oh man, I can't believe he saved that. Smith did a good job right there. Boy, he stacked them up behind.
Oh my goodness.
Clint Boyer now up to 11th. Ryan Newman trying to get by him. That's kicked Regan Smith outside the top 10.
Yeah, well, he pretty much got kicked out of the top 10 on that move.
And this is that cutoff right here where these guys are at, right at the end of the top 10. You got guys with 2 tires, you got guys that have been out there for 5 or 6 laps, and you got guys with brand new tires. So they're just, it's bottlenecking right there. You got to break through this pack to get to the next.
A 55-second lap for Sam Hornish Jr. last time around, 0.3 of a second in front of Tony Stewart.
Tony's going to make him run his game and play his game if he catches Tony.
As the drivers go through the tunnel turn, it will be 10 laps to go. Hornish's car
is getting a little loose. You saw it get a little free there.
Yeah, he's losing all his time right there in turn 2.
Yeah.
And that's where these guys are taking advantage of him.
Tony Stewart doing so here. He's the new man in second place. And here comes Kyle Busch. Denny Hamlin has won here 3 times, each time leading the most laps.
Wow. And Denny's loving this. Yeah. And Denny's looking in the rearview mirror loving this part. You do a slide.
So Kyle.
Yeah. Hornish is thinking, you do a slide job on me, I'll get you back on one here.
They continue side by side for second into the tunnel turn. That's Stewart down low, Hornish up high.
Yeah, Kyle may get a piece of him right here. Nope.
How good would this race get if Busch could get around these two, and then we get a caution. I'd like to see the restart with Hamlin and Busch on the front row.
Whoa. That was pretty impressive right there.
That was impressive. That was impressive.
Kind of bounced sideways in front of the 77 through 3.
Yeah. Okay. They've got one full green flag stop under their belt leading the race. Not running in a draft. So they know that's my max number right there. I can't go any farther than that unless the driver saves me some or unless I run in a draft. So that's a piece of knowledge that Mike can put in his book and that Denny can put in his book and say, okay, if it gets down to 2 extra laps, I'm going to have to either save or I'm going to have to draft. If it gets down to, say, 8 or 10, I'm going to have to get back in the pack and race myself.
But you can't even match that lap. You almost need to come in a lap earlier, right,
yes.
Matt?
Absolutely, Wally. And Mike Ford just told them they will play a little more conservative on this run and for the rest of the race. Mike told them we should have been good for about 2 more laps. So information learned. We're going to use from here to the finish.
And you know that's good stuff right there, because you've got a crew chief down there leading the race thinking he's got a cushion, and all of a sudden, boom, he finds out he doesn't have a cushion. Now I want you to look at this. The 2 car has dropped back into the clutches of the 9 car. That happened on pit road. As they went down pit road, and we were on different guys' pit stops, I was watching the 2 car. 2 car got held up twice coming down pit road. Once on the entrance up here just before the start-finish line, and once when he turned into his pits, the 20 car of Joey Logano was exiting. He had to stop, let Joey out, accelerate again, and drive another 4 or 5. So the 2 or 3 seconds lead that he had over the 9 car evaporated right on pit road.
And that lap machine of Travis Kvapil there, you see the 38 making life difficult on Casey Kane.
Casey's got to run here. He's going to pull out. Oh.
Kane's been strong today. Here he is at the start-finish line. Pulling out of line. This is the battle for the race lead at lap 95.
That was a strong move right there. But again, we've seen the 2 cars just be a little bit off on the first 2 or 3 laps after a pit stop. Whoa, sideways there.
Denny Hamlin lost the ground exiting pit road, as we showed you. Busch, Kane, and Montoya all went by, but Hamlin back up running strong and gaining those spots back. Here he is to the inside of Montoya for 3rd.
And Denny's made that move work all day long. Drive to the bottom, let the car exit really high, let it build that momentum. Yeah, I think Juan was going to outbrave him getting in turn 3, and Jeff wasn't going to have any of it.
Mentioned Kevin Harvick had gone from 24th to 12th on that green flag run. He's now 8th. A victor here in September of 2006 was our point leader.
And these two guys, as these 2 guys are running side by side, these first 3 are really.
Oh, there he goes again.
Jeff's going to get
getting up now.
It's going to get ugly right here.
And that's opened it up for A.J. Allmendinger, who slides by and will move into the top 5 for the first time.
And that's exactly what happens. It opens up the door for these guys behind you to catch up, but those guys in front of you are gone. And I don't know if you guys remember at Martinsville, what was it, last year, where Jeff said, why is this guy racing me this hard? Yeah. I mean, that was one of the big comments. That was some hard racing right there.
It's hard to find drivers on the track that don't have a history with one another. Talked a lot today in our Countdown to Green about retaliation. A number of folks left Sonoma a week ago disappointed. As of yet, nothing really panning out, although Montoya and Gordon did have a nice little battle a moment ago.
Oh,
and now Montoya slides up.
This should be good right here.
Oh!
Ah, that could be a cut left rear.
That was good.
After there, inside the 2. 24 inside.
The splitter on these cars can be a big-time weapon when you talk about cutting down someone's tires.
Look. I mean, they're going right back at each other.
Okay. It's still inside the 24.
Boy, if he didn't cut the left rear on that,
was
Montoya's
close, man.
really, really lucky.
Yeah, because that puff of smoke was a big puff of smoke. Now you see Juan. Now Juan's just going to fall in line here. But remember, their tires are a little bit. They got 7 or 8 laps on them now. They're not as brave to stuff it down in there right now.
Here's Busch, 3 laps to go, and he's trying to hang on, but Johnson reeling him in every lap.
And
it's coming. Here it is. It's gonna happen.
Johnson has won 4 times this year, including a week ago. 2 victories in 2010 for Busch. Repay, a little contact in the corner.
Same place.
You just knew it.
And look here. Look at the 14 right here in the mirror. Just hoping these guys do it.
2 laps to go. They're side by side at the stripe. Into one. Jimmy Johnson the advantage.
But I tell you, Kurt's not giving an inch right here.
Well, and this is really hard right there because Jimmy couldn't make the pass and slide up in front of him. Now he clears him.
New race leader, Jimmy Johnson out front with a lap and a half to go. Those the top 3 cars.
Look at this 14 right here. Just digging on the inside.
Tony Stewart, who started deep in the field. He's making a late race rally. Battling Kurt Busch for second. White flag has gone out. Final lap at New Hampshire.
Ooh, Tony got a little loose. Look at him wash up the racetrack into the 22 right there.
Smoke off of turn 2, able to slide in front of Kurt Busch. He now has the runner-up spot.
He almost didn't make it, but he had to really slow up to try to save it. Look at this 3-wide battle.
Let's go 3 wide, heading down towards turn number 1. Casey Kane's got the inside line. Harvick's the meat in this sandwich, and you're on board with Jamie.
You see the scrapes down the side of Kevin Harvick's car. Now look at Casey Kane getting out of shape.
Coming right back underneath him. This is getting good. Look out. McMurray almost slides to the wall.
What lap is this?
That's what I was going to say. Anybody tell me? They must know something we don't. Hey, I think it's called a race.
Yeah, somebody said that a while ago, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what was great. Casey Kane got that huge run down into turn 1, and that draft feels really good when you can do that. But then you have to realize you got to make it through that corner then, and you saw him slide up. What great racing, great job of driving by those guys.
And they're not done with it yet. Allmendinger trying the low line, hugging the bottom of the racetrack.
Hey, look at Harvick. He just loves this 3-wide stuff.
Allmendinger gets around both of them, so he puts a little slide job on him coming out of 3. Side by side down to 1. Harvick's inside of the number 1 of McMurray.
Well, it's nice to see. We've seen a number of passes now with guys utilizing that bottom part of turn 3. That's going to make for fun racing at the end of this race if you've got 2 grooves there that are equally as good.
Oh, look at Hamlin get out of shape off 3.
Denny gets loose, and here comes the 14, the 88, the 99, Carl Edwards. They're all going to take advantage of it. Harvick as well, heading down into 1. The 2 guys up front don't know what they're missing behind them. And it looks like Carl Edwards and Tony Stewart pick up the biggest advantage from Hamlin's error.
If Tony can get that run from the top side and clear Carl Edwards here.
Heading down towards turn 2, the tunnel turn, still side by side. Edwards inside of Tony Stewart.
I think Tony might try a crossover here, see if he can get back to the throttle.
That's exactly what he's trying.
Tony at Pocono, 9 top 10 finishes in the last 10 races, top 3 finishes in 3 of the last 4, and he clears the 99.
That's a power move. Here comes Carl. He was going back, but Jeff Gordon trying to make this move on Montoya.
Here we go again, the battle for the race lead. We've had 8 different leaders. We've had 16 lead changes. Do we get 17? Still side by side. Further back, look at way back there.
That's Johnson down the bottom.
Jimmy's trying it. Here we go again into 1. That low line, can he hang on? To the left side, Carl Edwards gets loose.
Harvick had to crack the throttle just a second because he wasn't sure that Edwards...
Here comes Gordon for the lead.
Again, as these 2 just keep going door handle to door handle. Montoya on the high side. Fans are standing in.
Oh, what great race.
There's Johnson 3-wide.
And Jimmy felt like the sandwich in that one for sure. And here he comes right back underneath.
And here comes Gordon for the lead at the exact same time.
Whoa, it's so good right now. Everywhere we're looking, we've got battles going on. Gordon clears the 42 finally. Our 17th lead change.
Man, can we take a breath yet?
No, not yet. All right, here comes Harvick. He's got a run, and
wonder what he was going to do with that run.
Yeah, I thought he might try that inside one more time, but he just thought he'd send a message.
Well, then he came up, shut the door, and he said, excuse me, I'd like to reopen it.
Yeah, he's going to try it one more time. Hamlin's pretty good off of 4. He's been able to keep him behind him, even with the big run that Harvick gets.
Don't forget, the wins count for bonus points going into the chase. That's what makes this battle so important right now.
This is a 20-point swing for Kevin Harvick. If he can keep Denny Hamlin from winning this race and he gets the win, it takes 10 points away from Hamlin and gives them to Harvick.
Going to get another run off of 2 right here.
Hamlin with 5 victories this year, and here he comes down the backstretch.
He just had too much momentum, and if Hamlin tried to cut that move off, it might have been trouble.
And that's what that bump the last time sent that message.
Well, it's still not clear because Hamlin's running the low line, and here we come out of 4.
You can see Hamlin struggling for grip down there.
Oh, got a good close-up of the Shell logo on the side of the car. And he does find the clearing. So that is our 17th lead change.
Drive away. You can't catch it.
Here we go. Pass for the lead. Kyle said, Dave, you've had plenty of camera time up front. I think I want it back. But David's saying no way, not yet. Great racing at Bristol. This is what we saw last night. A lot of side-by-side action, and the guys are doing it again.
And you see Jamie McMurray close in a little bit as these guys race side by side. Kyle, once again, couldn't make the pass. Just couldn't get the forward bite that he needed. Oh, that's a good move right there. Oh, contact.
Oh, look out. He almost hit the outside wall.
It was a good move till then.
Well, he's still, man, I tell you, Kyle Busch is working him over here.
Yeah, he's definitely got the chrome bumper up there, right there on the quarter panel, and gives him a little more room this time.
Yeah, but he cuts down and cuts him off there, and that hurt Kyle's momentum on exit of the corner.
Jamie McMurray's watching all this and saying, if you guys take each other out, I'll take over the lead. Thank you.
Well, they might not even need to do that. He might just be sitting there thinking, you guys use up your cars a little bit racing this hard right now. Got 75 laps to go.
Hey, Casey Kane's car has really come to life here.
Yes, it has. Clint Boyer's right there in 4th, but there is Casey running in the 5th spot as they go around the wounded Jimmy Johnson, who's in 35th. Rudiman still holding on to that top spot right now as the laps continue to wind down, and it won't take us long, especially if we stay green like we did the last stretch. 75 to go.
Casey Kane on the high side trying to take that 4th spot away from Clint Boyer. Is going to be able to do that.
And it does. He does take over the 4th position.
Yeah, we might have a new player here for racing for the lead here eventually.
Boy, and what a way this track can change. He had the speeding penalty, had the problem right before that last round of yellow. And here he is back in the mix.
Yeah, you can see Kyle Busch try to fake, give David Rudiman a little bit of a fake to go to that high side last time to get him to move down maybe a little bit on the track. Now he's trying that low side once again.
Whoa, he got loose. Get sideways.
And here comes the 18. He says, you've opened the door. Trying to squeeze through, and he does. So Kyle Busch retakes the lead now with 72 laps remaining.
Well, that's a great move Kyle Busch made. Get up on the bumper. That got Rudiman a little bit loose getting back to the throttle.
That were worse than 25th, and this looks like another one of those nights right now, as this is probably the biggest surprise to all of us.
Yeah, he won the race here early in the year, and I just did not expect to see him run like this tonight.
Right side, the battle for the race lead continues. Jeff Burton right now would get the lucky dog. Jamie, let's send it your way.
And Kirk continues to be frustrated with the way this race car is handling. He says he is now loose on exit. Remember, he had been so tight at the start of the race. He told his crew chief, Steve Addington, I want 2 rounds of wedge. We're not adjusting right. Let's do it right this time. 4 tires, and they filled it up for Kurt Busch.
Well, Kurt last year was running 18th when he crashed, ended up 38th in this event 1 year ago. So the memories from March are better than the memories of last September.
Yeah, and you can see this battle for the lead right here is just shows you exactly what we talk about. Just a little bit of a slip. These guys are back and forth. We can tell you about 2 or 3 tenths of a second, but this is exactly what happens each and every lap. Doc?
Clint Boyer saying the car is still very, very loose. He's just trying to be patient on the racetrack, and the car is getting freer and freer. 4 tires, major air pressure, and he's away.
Well, and to just let you know, as Clint comes back out onto the track, Mark Martin is the next guy to go a lap down. He is shown in 21st position. That is the last thing Mark needs. Look at the way these cars are twitching. 39 of Ryan Newman, we can tell you. Kevin Harvick, and here we go for the battle for the race lead again. We've had 8 lead changes so far, and Tony on the high side, and here comes Hamlin right back.
Well, this is just great racing, and we talk about this being a worn-out racetrack, but that's the kind of show that these guys can put on whenever you give them good cars and a track like this.
Jamie McMurray pulls off onto pit road, I should say, in 19th position right now. Then he's got a problem on the right side. He's got lap traffic. Let's send it to Jamie Little.
Jamie McMurray made his way down to pit road the first this time around.
We've seen more cars sideways than a drifting contest tonight. I mean, and here we go with now Kurt Busch and Carl Edwards going after each other.
I'm pretty impressed with Kurt Busch so far.
And here comes the 48.
You can see it's whenever Carl Edwards had to get out of the throttle a little bit there down on the inside. That gave Jimmy Johnson a big run to get up there. He may try to make it 3 wide right here.
Whoa, this is going to get interesting. Here they go. 3 wide. Everybody hold on. Can you do it clean? Yes, sir. Kurt Busch goes all the way up to the wall.
Here comes Jimmy, though. Look at this momentum.
And on the left side of the screen, Jeff Gordon trying to do all he can just to hang on. Carl going back down to the bottom of the racetrack. You know, the drivers currently in the top 5 have won 11 of the last 12 races here at Atlanta. What do we always talk about? The cream rising?
Yes, that's for sure.
Let's get an update on the 31 day, Burns.
And I talked to Todd Berrier about that today. You know, Todd says, I think Jeff's a better qualifier than he thinks he is, and yet sometimes the results don't show that. But I'll tell you what, if anybody's going to go to the front from a bad starting position without getting that loose, it's going to be the 31, because he's qualified back there so often, we know he can pass in traffic. And there goes Harvick right next to him, Vince.
Well, and Kevin Harvick qualified 24th for this race, and they were actually happy about it because that was so much better than what they'd done the first 2 races in the chase. That just means they've got to pass more cars during those green flag runs. And as you see Harvick go by Burton on the inside, Kane there on the outside, Gil Martin and Kevin Harvick were hoping for long green flag runs today. They feel like they've got the car on the green flag runs if they're long. He said, we want green flag runs and green flag pit stops.
And he is closing.
Yeah, I think he'll be able to get by. He's been closing on Tony at a pretty rapid rate here. It's be a matter of how much time he has to spend on the inside here trying to make this pass. He can't spend too much because he's got Kevin Harvick and Jeff Gordon not too far behind him.
As good as Jimmy Johnson's car is right now, a caution flag would put him right back in it to win this thing.
That's the last thing Greg Biffle wants to see. He's got a 5.6 second lead over these 2 guys, and as long as they keep battling side by side, it just allows him to keep cruising out in front. Speaking of Biffle, there he goes on the left side, putting Kyle Busch 1 lap down. Kyle running 21st.
You can see Jimmy still trying to get around Tony Stewart on the right side, but Kevin Harvick will come into the picture here in just a second. He's going to be a part of this battle.
There is Harvick in the 29. So you see 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right there in your screen. Now with 10 laps to go.
Jimmy Johnson's always been a good closer, but this is what the 29 car, Kevin Harvick, has done all year long. He just peaks at the right time. That's at the end of the race, and here he is battling up here for a top 5 spot.
It looked like Jimmy might have a good enough run, but Stewart's fighting back on the outside. I don't think Jimmy's going to be able to clear him quite yet.
Down that backstretch, and boy, what acceleration by the 14. Now into the corner. Hugging that white line, the 48. Harvick looking at all this, saying, guys, if you give me an opening, I'm going to get both of you.
Yeah, Jimmy's able to clear Tony Stewart now and move that 48 car up into the 2nd spot.
But in the meantime, Biffle's extended his lead to 6.8 seconds with now 9 laps to go.
Whoa, look at here, Harvick get out of the throttle to keep from running into Tony Stewart right there.
That's Regan Smith, lap traffic in front. Regan 1 lap down in the 26th spot. He moves high, lets everybody go. Also David Ruderman in the 00, 35th, 11 laps down after all the action he's had today. And Jeff Gordon getting into the mix a little bit further back as well. There he comes. And Tony's coming back on the 48.
Yeah, and you can see Carl Edwards gaining on Jeff Gordon. It's going to be a 5-way battle for second.
7 laps to go next time by. These guys are, whoa, getting so loose as the 14. Harvick. He moves around. Now here comes Gordon on Tony.
Comes Carl Edwards. He's sliding his car. He's going to go to the inside of Gordon off of 4.
Edwards on the move. He takes the spot all the way down onto the apron. Jeff follows him and is going to be able to clear. Yes. So Edwards now 5th. It's Biffle, Johnson, Harvick, Stewart, Edwards, and Gordon. And Gordon's not finished yet. He's going to try the high side.
We can see really jump in the throttle there. Jeff Gordon trying to take that spot away.
Biffle's missing a heck of a good race behind him. He's 7 seconds in front of everybody. Side by side. This time, Here comes Carl. He's going to try the same thing. It worked for him before.
He's just trying to get away where Jeff can't side draft and slow his car down some. Just put in a little bit of split.
Notice Jeff didn't follow him this time, and it seemed to help his momentum. Down the backstretch. What it's also allowed is Tony Stewart has opened up some ground in front of both of these guys. There you can see the margin up to Tony. Whoa, Carl's loose. Oh, so close. He has to get out of it. Gordon takes the spot. And here comes Jimmy Johnson following his Hendrick teammate in the 5.
These drivers really searching for grip anywhere that they can right now. Just trying to get a run. We're getting down 50 laps to go now.
3/4 of the way through the race. And you can see side by side again, Jimmy Johnson along with Jeff Gordon. Casey Kane's right behind Jimmy. And now Kane's going to slide underneath, make it 3 wide coming out of 2.
And after they get finished battling this out, they're going to see Matt Kenseth coming. He was 17th on the restart, and he has already caught this group. He's got 4 fresh tires.
And remember, from 17th on back, everybody came in. There is Kenseth as we go back up front. Clint Boyer now down on the low side, still in that 2nd position.
Yeah, Ryan Newman had passed him out of turn 2, but Clint was able to get a run back on and get back in between these teammates.
Top 4 are trying to check out on 5th place, Casey Kane. Here comes Kyle Busch shooting down low, 3 wide again. Battle for the race lead. Boyer wants it back. Tony's hanging on to it. Here comes Newman. He is tucked up right underneath the 14.
Yeah, he knows where his paycheck comes from.
That's right.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson back just behind this, lost a couple of spots. He got in a bad position there down into 1.
Johnson has dropped back to 9th while all this is going on. Smoke takes 4 wheels below the line. Boyer follows. Slides back up to the top of the track. There's your side-by-side for 2nd. Here's the group behind him as they go again into turn number 1. Here comes Boyer alongside the 39. Look at how many different lines these guys are able to take. There's Kenseth as he is now getting past the 48, and that would put Kenseth all the way up into the 7th position if he can make the pass stick. But here comes Jimmy right back. Jeff Gordon also in the mix with Kevin Harvick. 4-car battle. They're all looking for 7th spot. All 4 cars in the chase. And here comes Denny Hamlin. So let's make it 5.
Saw Matt Kenseth and Jimmy Johnson almost make contact right there if they didn't.
You can see in that group Elliott Sadler, who along with Kenseth was in to get 4 tires that last time. I have to think that that's going to be a benefit as they get some more laps to run here.
Sadler, you saw him on the high side there. They come down the long backstretch. There's the top group in single file led by race leader Tony Stewart. But this is where it gets really interesting. Here comes Harvick. He wants to look underneath the 48, and Jimmy slams the door.
See Kenseth right here. He's really making this difficult for Jimmy Johnson to go around. I think this is exactly what we talked about. Trouble.
Kyle Busch. Back to the action on the track. You've got Newman and Harvick side by side. Harvick trying to get the 5th spot and does get around Newman, but here comes Ryan right back on him. We mentioned the fact we caught up with Kyle Busch, Dr. Jerry Punch.
Kyle Busch, after driving from the back toward the front twice, it suddenly goes away. You said you knew something was happening for 5 laps. What were you feeling?
I wasn't feeling anything. There was just a weird pop off of turn 2 one time when I got to the throttle wide open, and it blew the hood, the back of the hood seal between the hood and the cowl. It blew it up. So I don't know what happened, but I said, well, that didn't sound too good. I'm not sure if it's going to make it the rest of the race, and apparently it didn't. Just real unfortunate for all these guys and the way we were coming back right there with that run. You know, we finally got some adjustment in the car that made it where it was heading back towards the front and just blew up.
I know you really wanted this championship. Can you put this disappointment in perspective?
No, not really. I mean, there's on to another year.
All right, Kyle Busch, guys, out of it.
And as it stands right now, he could be 182 points behind as Harvick and Newman continue this battle on the track side by side. And here comes Casey Kane trying to get into the mix as well. Tony is 1 lap down in 36th. Here we go. 1, 2, and 3 in the points. And it is Harvick who is moving underneath and getting around Hamlin. And now he's trying to get around 48.
Yeah, the only way these guys know they can gain any points is be in front of that 48 at the end of the day. They're trying to make it happen right now. I think the 29 and the 11 are both a little bit better.
Well, there would be the points if they stayed in this position. Since the restart, Denny Hamlin's picked up 7 spots. Our leader, Jeff Burton, is second on that list. He has picked up 6. So Hamlin doing a nice job with the crew making the right adjustment. There's Jeff Gordon getting into this mix as well.
You know, short track racing so much about the driver and the driver control of the throttle and all that. And Denny Hamlin is so good at that. I mean, you know they're going to get the car the way he needs it to be sooner or later. They did it a lot sooner than I thought they would do it today because they started out so bad. But now his car looks really good.
Well, remember when Jimmy and Jeff had that little bit of contact and we wondered what Jeff was thinking? Listen to the radio.
Next time you get a chance, just ask the 40 if he has a spotter. Yeah, that was a little, by 3.
Yeah, that was a little,
Well, he's going to get a chance here in just a minute once Kevin Harvick gets up beside him. It's probably going to allow the 11 of Denny Hamlin to get there too, and then Jeff can stick his nose in and see what he wants to do.
Well, in all fairness too, I mean the guy in front really kind of owns the racetrack. It's kind of up to the guy behind not to force the issue and get into somebody. So Jimmy had the position on him.
Yeah, but you take a chance being that front guy and chopping that guy off one too many times, then the next time you might get a little harder bump than what you're expecting.
Well, right now Kevin Harvick's got a nose in front of Jimmy, and through the corner they almost touch, and here comes Hamlin. Okay, let's flip the roles now. I asked you how Hamlin felt when he was going backwards. What's Jimmy thinking?
Jimmy's okay. He's the one that has the point lead.
Montoya does get around him, and here comes Kenseth as well. Meanwhile, Jimmy Johnson side by side with Harvick.
See, Harvick now trying to roll the outside.
That's for 8th on the racetrack.
So it might work for him here too. Look at this.
Kenseth got really loose. They're going to be 3 wide here.
Uh-oh.
No, Jimmy gets a little contact into him. Harvick maintains the position ahead of Johnson, at least for the moment. Jimmy tucks up behind the 29. Then goes behind Kenseth again, and here comes Hamlin into the mix.
Yeah, Jimmy just not exactly sure which one of these guys is going to win this battle. Looks like Kevin Harvick's getting a nice nose out front now.
Yeah, the one thing we need to point out, for all the contact that we always see, and here we go, 3 wide, these 3 points contenders, none of them have been beating and banging on each other. They've given each other some space.
Shows you how good they are, though. They've been so close to each other, and other cars racing hard and aggressive.
Yeah, I tell you, this 48 car's fast right now. Jimmy's wanting to go.
Here he goes.
Now we talk about beating and banging.
Definitely getting aggressive.
Meanwhile, Jeff Burton, and he moves into 3rd ahead of Tony Stewart. So it's Earnhardt, Gordon, and now Burton. He's back on the move. Jimmy trying to seal the deal, and finally does get around Kevin Harvick. So move Johnson into the 7th position.
Harvick gives him a little nudge there.
And just as I compliment them on how clean they have raced each other, here they go.
Well, this is relatively clean. I mean, a little bumping here and there, no big deal.
What a great job Kenny Schrader's done in this car all day. Doing a great job now. You know, we talked 6-8 laps ago that Harvick looked like he was going to put him a lap down, but Schrader's actually pulling away a little.
Started 38th, and he's still the last car on the lead lap, running in 20th for Kenny Schrader. Left side of your screen, Jimmy and Kyle battling for 4th, and here comes the battle for the lead on the right side. Hamlin's got a half a car length to go.
He may have a pick with a lap car here. He's getting a lot of room, pretty tight.
The 37 of David Gilliland gives him plenty of space. This will be settled in turns 1 and 2, perhaps. Still side by side.
Yeah, just not sure which lap in 1 and 2.
Hamlin's going to try it again. Each of them giving each other enough space for now.
Now they know this could be for the win right here.
You saw 3 cars back, or a couple cars back, I should say. 3rd place, Jeff Burton. He has no say in this battle right now. That's Ryan Newman moving out of the way. He is multiple laps down. In fact, 42 to be exact. running in 31st position. Meanwhile, Harvick trying to hold off Hamlin again.
Well, Harvick doing a great job holding that outside lane.
And he may get the advantage of the pick here coming up soon because Schrader is still right in front of these two. There's Kenny. And he's doing all he can to stay on the lead lap.
Yeah, and he's running good enough to stay ahead of these guys, especially as they run side by side.
29 laps to go.
This could be helping Jeff Burton. He's running third, and with these cars running side by side, he can. Well, there he goes.
Denny Hamlin takes the race lead from Kevin Harvick. Now the question will be for how long.
Yeah, Harvick could see that he wasn't going to finish that or continue that. Now he's going to try to go back to the inside, but Hamlin gets a run off the corner.
Hamlin's lead is now 1.9 seconds. And here comes Menard to give Rudeman some trouble.
Yeah, really loosened Rudeman up. He gave him a lot of trouble. Rudeman really getting loose there.
And Jimmy Johnson getting into the mix.
See, Menard had to crack the throttle a little bit to give Rudeman a little bit of room. That allowed Jimmy Johnson to come back to the high side.
And look at Menard get a good bite on the low side.
3 wide. This is the best action we have on the racetrack. And Jimmy Johnson goes around both Rudeman and Menard. It's like somebody lit the wick.
Now that was 8 points right there and one little swing at it.
Jimmy now has Harvick right in front of him. And the laps continue to wind down. Next time by, it'll be 10 to go. Hamlin's lead still 1.8 seconds over Matt Kenseth. Menard's not giving up on the 48. Here they go side by side.
I think Menard might get both of these. Oh, really good on the low side 3 and 4.
Well, it looks like we're going to try this maybe 3 wide again as they come around the corner. And everybody thinks better of it.
You can just see how difficult it is to keep the momentum that you need on the exit of the corner because they flatten out so quickly. You just have to really be careful and make sure that you get that driver on the outside enough room.
Side by side, Jimmy, Kevin. Here they come to the stripe. 9 laps to go. The last thing Harvick wanted to see is that 48 getting ahead of him, and it just happened.
They didn't want to see that, and Denny Hamlin stepping up to the plate right here at the end of the race and just really whipping the rest of these guys.
Well, today it has not been the fault of the pit crew on the 29. They have given him some great stops. That one slip that he tags the wall.
He said, right now I don't. Race him. Go for the lead.
All right, let's go for the battle for the lead because all of a sudden Carl's showing some life as he's putting pressure on Denny Hamlin. Now 51 laps remaining as they come down into turn number 1.
That's seen Denny Hamlin start to lose a little bit of speed with his lap times here recently. Again, and maybe he's backed off to save some fuel too here, Andy.
Yeah, maybe, but the track probably has changed quite a bit, and he's been so good all day. I mean, you can't imagine that he wouldn't have to make a few little changes to his chassis. And here comes Carl.
Side by side into the corner. Now all of a sudden, Denny gets a little edge on him and manages to clear him. Carl's going to try again, though. Edwards, his best Cup finish here has been 4th 3 different times. He's never won in Cup action. He picked up his 4th nationwide win yesterday, and he would love to end that streak of non-winning. This goes all the way back to 2 years ago at Homestead.
Yeah, it looks like right in the center of the corners where Denny's having a little bit of an issue with his car. Maybe it's gotten too tight, sliding the nose. He's got really good drive off, though.
And right now, Carl Edwards' biggest fan is Jimmy Johnson and Kevin Harvick. It's 15 points minimum between first and second. Denny also the only of one of the 3 chase contenders to lead a lap. He's led the most laps, so he's picked up 10 bonus points today. Here comes Carl again. You can get a great view. But again, Denny able to pull.
See how he gets on that apron, that left front on the apron, Carl Edwards. You can see all the banking roll out of the car. It helps the car turn, but it looks like Denny's getting off the corner pretty good. Been a while since Carl Edwards has won a race.
We talked about it. Homestead, back in 08, 70 starts since his last win. And here he goes, side by side. Can he clear him this time? This is where Denny's been really good coming off.
Yeah, and you wonder how hard Denny Hamlin's going to race somebody that hadn't won in that amount of time because you know he's pretty hungry to get to the front.
Dave, what's the latest you're hearing from the 99 Cap as they go again?
Marty, we're taking a look at this great battle. Carl not saving fuel right now, but they got about 11 laps under caution. He clears Hamlin going into 3 here. 11 laps under caution. Bob Osborne told him, I need you to save about a lap and a half. For Carl Edwards, that's very doable. But, guys, we don't know if there's going to be another caution at the end of this race, and everybody comes for tires and fuel.
Side by side, these two going after each other. Remember, neither Harvick nor Johnson have led in this race. Martin Truex has led a total of 40 laps. Carl Edwards has led 98 of them.
Truex back out there to release some more now.
Between the two of them, they've led all but 8 laps today. Like I said, they're trying to make it their own party. They have opened up a full second already over second and third.
The last few runs has taken a few laps for the 56 to get going, but it looks like he's got it going right off the start this time.
Just trying to find anything that'll work with this race car. And here comes Jeff Burton on the right side. That's Kevin Harvick's teammate, knocking Hamlin back a spot. Remember, Burton was a lap down, and on the left side, you got Carl Edwards again with Martin Truex.
Truex with a big run on the outside coming out of turn 2.
They're doing all this side-by-side racing and driving away from the field.
Yeah, normally that's not the case. Boy, look how high Truex is. Rim riding. Side by side here, they come by the stripe again. This time it'll be Truex at the stripe with the official lead. Total of 16 lead changes now between 7 different drivers. And while all this is going on, here comes Truex back again. Let's check in with Vince. He's caught up with Joey Logano.
So Kyle Busch doing everything he can to help his teammate Denny Hamlin with this situation by trying to stay in front of Jimmy Johnson.
Back there in 5th, you see Tony Stewart, then Ryan Newman, David Reagan, and Jamie McMurray was side by side with Harvick.
Jamie McMurray came off turn 4 sideways and then made the crossover move on Harvick.
Here comes Harvick back to the outside, though, getting a big run.
Biggest problem he may have is now Jamie tucks back in. And there's Denny Hamlin, 2 cars behind with now Brad Keselowski coming up on him. This is one of Brad's better runs here in Sprint Cup action. He's in the 11th spot.
Yeah, one of the problems that Denny's going to have is there's a lot of cars behind him that have new tires.
See Harvick trying to split these two.
It's Reagan down on the low side, Ryan Newman on the high side. Over on the right side of the screen, you still have the battle for third with Kyle Busch in front of Jimmy Johnson, at least for the moment. 58 laps to go. Harvick going way high that time. Kyle comes back on the high side as well. He's side by side. The 48 sticks a nose in front as they go down into 1.
Well, I'll tell you what, Denny Hamlin put a lot of trust in Jamie McMurray right there, sliding right up in front of him.
Newman right in front of Harvick on the left side of your screen with David Reagan in the 6th. And now Hamlin's got a mirror full of the number 1, and here comes Keselowski into that mix. Right side of your screen, you got a 3-way battle now for third.
Denny Hamlin's championship hopes are all right there in front of him. He has to pass these cars.
Needs to pick up positions to pick up the points. Hamlin ahead of the 12 of Brad Keselowski, side by side with Reagan.
Jimmy Johnson just couldn't quite get enough room there to slide up in front of Kyle Busch.
Great action right here at Homestead Miami Speedway. Just what we were expecting. The twists and turns I don't think any of us were expecting, but boy, look at this as it continues with Jimmy Johnson trying so hard to get around the 18, and Tony Stewart trying to make it miserable for both of them.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson just got a little bit of an assist there from Tony Stewart, who got up beside of Kyle Busch. That allowed Jimmy to slide up in front.
You see just a little bit further back, there's Kevin Harvick streaking through, and Denny Hamlin has gotten around David Reagan. Well, we mentioned the fact it was a bad end to a long season for Jeff Gordon. Vince is caught up with him.